And thank you for joining us for CBN NewsWatch. I'm Ephraim Graham. Can Republicans come together to repeal and replace Obamacare? That is the big question on Capitol Hill this week. Senate Republicans are pushing for a vote by the end of the week, but it will be a nail-biter. Not all of them are on board, and Democrats are promising a fight. CBN's Jenna Browder has more now on this story from Washington.
The battle over health care is down to the wire.
Obamacare is a direct attack on the middle class.
This week, the White House is hoping to close a deal on the Senate's plan to repeal and replace Obamacare.
I don't think they're that far off. Famous last words, right? But I think we're going to get there.
Senator Rand Paul says the bill doesn't go far enough.
There's no way the Republican bill brings down premiums. Look, I've been in medicine 20 years. I'm 54 years old. Premiums have never gone down. They're not going to go down after the Republican bill.
Others, like Senator Susan Collins, say they worry it would hurt people with chronic illnesses.
I'm also very concerned about the Medicaid cuts, what it means to our most vulnerable citizens.
A concern the White House is trying to calm.
These are not cuts to Medicaid, George. This slows the rate for the future, and it allows governors more flexibility with Medicaid dollars because they're closest to the people in need.
Another concern for some of the holdouts is rushing this bill through too quickly. Many of them say they need more time to look it over, and some say they'll support it if changes are made. And while most of the focus is on Capitol Hill, the Supreme Court also wraps up session this week. The justices are expected to issue a decision on whether to allow the Trump administration to enforce a 90-day ban on visitors from 6 terror-prone countries after lower courts shot down the ban earlier this year.
The Supreme Court could lift the lower court orders and let the travel ban finally go into effect. Or it could decide to leave the lower court orders in effect, not take the case at all, and that's essentially the death of the travel ban.
The court could also shelve a decision until next term. The other big high court news involves Justice Anthony Kennedy. Speculation is swirling that he could announce his retirement. Kennedy is the court's swing vote, and if he does retire, it would allow conservatives to take firm control.
We'd love to have some Democrat support.
For now, though, the main goal of the president and Senate Republicans is passing a health care bill.
Health care is a very, very tough thing to get, but I think we're going to get it. We don't have too much of a choice because the alternative is the dead carcass of Obamacare. That's what it is.
A move which would clear the way for cutting taxes as part of the GOP plan to get the economy moving again. In Washington, Jenna Browder, CBN News.
For the first time in 2 decades, the White House will skip the annual Ramadan dinner celebration. It started during President Clinton's administration and continued through President Obama's 2 terms. Instead, President Trump gave his best wishes to the Muslim community in a statement saying, "During this holiday, we are reminded of the importance of mercy, compassion, and goodwill." When the next war comes, what will U.S. weapons look like? In America's high-tech military, drones are only the beginning. Future weapons may seem like they're out of science fiction, complete with robots running on artificial intelligence. CBN security correspondent Eric Rosales takes a look at the latest technology from the Defense Department designed to keep our military stronger and safer.
Almost there. It may look like something out of Star Wars, but even R2-D2 couldn't hold a circuit board to this little guy. It's the latest bomb disposal robot. New advancements give the operator greater precision and even lets the robot think on its own.
Our next generation systems are going to have more autonomous capabilities where you'll be able to designate a waypoint on an overhead map or on board a video screen, and the robot will automatically drive to that waypoint.
This allows the operator to keep an eye out for the enemy while still driving to the bomb's location. Currently, the Department of Defense has thousands of scientists and engineers working at more than 60 DoD labs in 22 states. Their effort? To give us a war-fighting edge and to keep all Americans safe. I can see the firing commands, the compass below, 160, 170, 180. Wow. It superimposes a computer-generated image of the real world, allowing the gunner on a ship to see the command on when to fire.
The gunner is receiving his firing commands from someone standing next to him, who's on a radio, who's receiving the firing commands from someone else far away.
So it takes the place of a person.
Any potential enemy firing positions, any potential obstacles that are updated on that map, I see in a view and a display on here.
Ground forces use similar technology that includes day and nighttime thermal imagery. If a soldier's under heavy fire but doesn't want to expose any part of the body, that's not an issue.
I can put this around a wall. I can fire it from overhead, and I can still see where it's looking. I have a point of aim, and I can still effectively fire my weapon because of that wireless connectivity with this device.
Another potential idea, low-cost disposable aircraft using a 3D printer. Planes can be designed for specific missions, such as for weapons, jamming radar, or finding targets. Engineers say their life expectancy is a lot shorter than the real thing, but can be made for a fraction of the cost. From inside the Pentagon, Eric Rosales, I'm firing. Boom. CBN News.
Tim Tebow is moving up. See how the Christian athlete is making new strides in baseball. That story's next. They say if you want to deliver a message, take it directly to the people. That's what one group did this past weekend when a dozen Christian musicians took over a popular amusement park. Their purpose? Reaching our nation's young people. Amber Strong has the story.
Nothing quite says summer like a trip to the amusement park.
It was an amazing drop.
Games, roller coasters, and food. What more could you ask for?
Dozens of youth shouting with their hands raised in the air is no big deal for Kingsfest Amusement Park. But for 3 days out of the year, those shouts are to the Lord and those hands are raised in worship.
The annual KingsFest brings contemporary Christian musicians from around the world to the heart of Virginia for a day of celebration.
KingsFest is meant to develop relationships amongst adults and youth and children through Christian music in a secular environment.
Household names like Love and the Outcome and Toby Mac took over the stage, gathering crowds from across the country. Christian hip-hop artist Mr. Talkbox has emceed the event and says there's nothing quite like it.
3 days of this. You have given 3 days to this event. What makes it so special?
Just what makes this special, I would say it's the people, you know, because they're coming kind of reaching for something. A lot of people come here, you know, with a lot of burdens and things, and so I feel like I'm a part of something bigger than just myself.
Talkbox, who has traveled the country and collaborated with other Christian artists like Toby Mac, says his generation owes a great deal to the one behind them and encourages the young people he meets to do one thing: shine.
My message to them is, do it to the full, do it unto the glory of God, because God is the one that's gonna promote us. I couldn't have never arranged working with Toby Mac or Bruno Mars. The Bible says, let your light shine. It's my favorite scripture, Matthew 5:16, and my song. Let your light shine before men so that they may see it and that God will be glorified.
Organizers say it's about more than 3 days of concerts, saying they've seen the power of the festival with their own eyes.
One of the most amazing moments I've seen is actually through my own youth group. And I've seen these kids come together and bond in a way that they've never bonded before. The young ones are taken under by the older ones, and the older ones just protect the younger ones, and they love on each other, and they grow in the Lord through worship.
It's a tradition 19 years in the making, binding together generations for the common purpose of praise. Amber C. Strong reporting in Doswell, Virginia.
Tim Tebow is making more strides in baseball. The New York Mets promoted the 29-year-old outfielder to their Class A affiliate team in St. Lucie, Florida. The Mets general manager said Tebow's performance has trended positively over the last several weeks, and the Mets thought it was a good time to move him up. Way to go, Tim Tebow. Up next, Steve McQueen was a movie star, a fashion icon, and a race car driver. Still, there was another side of the King of Cool you may not have heard. Pastor Greg Laurie reveals that one story next. Nearly 40 years after his death, movie star Steve McQueen is still often referred to as the King of Cool. His rags to riches life story still fascinates. But few people know about one very important chapter of that story. Take a look at the Hollywood bad boy's journey to faith.
He ain't gonna put out $194 on a lousy pair. You did.
Movies, motorcycles, and model-like style paint a pretty picture of Steve McQueen. But the king of cool overcame a lot to become the Hollywood boy wonder of the 60s and 70s.
He had no father, and his mother really did not raise him.
Alcoholic.
She was a raging alcoholic with a lot of guys. And I tracked with that part of his story because I too had an alcoholic mother, married and divorced 7 times, and I never knew my biological father.
Only the gospel can change a human heart.
In addition to leading California's Harvest Christian Fellowship Church, Greg Laurie is quite the Steve McQueen fan.
Maybe I should first state that I have a Bullitt Mustang. And if people, you know what that is, right?
I do.
Well, for those people that don't know what that is, there was a film that McQueen made a number of years ago in the 60s called Bullitt. And he plays a detective named Frank Bullitt. And he drives this green 1968 Mustang. Pretty much the greatest cinematic car chase in history was in that film. So I have a replica of that car. So I bought that car. My wife wasn't that thrilled with this idea.
Steve McQueen's resume by Hollywood standards today could be considered relatively short, but he is an American icon. Why do you think we're so fascinated with him?
Yeah, I don't know the answer. Not everybody from his generation is an icon. But James Dean, another contemporary of McQueen, is an icon. Elvis is an icon. The Beatles are iconic. Certain people transcend time and they become iconic characters. I think maybe one of the things that makes a person an icon is when there's sort of a timelessness about them. In other words, when new generations can discover them. I actually read this article in a men's fashion magazine, and you're a very fashionable guy, by the way, Ephraim. But and it asked the question, who was cooler, Steve McQueen or James Dean? And they were examining their life on the basis of the cool cars they drove. And they both drove cool cars, the movies they made, and kind of their fashion sense. And the conclusion was McQueen was cooler than Dean.
Well, I don't know about taking any more orders, but I'd sure like to get up on the pulpit, sound off with all those sergeants out in the congregation. I'd sure give them hellfire and brimstone.
Beyond his style points and his car, there's an even bigger McQueen story Laurie spent time chasing.
I started delving into Steve's life more, and I'd heard that he'd become a Christian, and I believed it to be true, but I never had checked it out. Well, I'd seen a documentary film last year, and it talked about his rise from, the worst childhood imaginable to superstardom, where he was the #1 movie star in the world, in films like Bullitt, The Great Escape, The Magnificent Seven, The Thomas Crown Affair, etc. And then how he walked away from Hollywood and became a Christian. I thought, well, is this true? So I started with a Google search, and I started reading old articles, and a name popped up, Leonard DeWitt. Leonard was the pastor who led Steve to Christ. And I thought, well, I wonder if this guy's alive still. So we tracked him down and I said, are you the Leonard DeWitt that prayed with Steve McQueen? And he said, yes, I am. I was amazed that Leonard didn't have like a website, the preacher who led McQueen to Christ. I mean, that's kind of an accomplishment.
Laurie shares the details of the meeting between DeWitt and McQueen in his book, The Salvation of an American Icon.
One of the surprises for me in reading the book was the Billy Graham connection. Yeah. Was that a surprise to you?
No, I knew that story, but I didn't know the details of it. I did ask Billy about this years ago. He, of course, confirmed the story was true.
The story? Doctors diagnosed McQueen with an aggressive cancer mere months after he accepted Christ. Before he flew to Mexico for surgery, he met Billy Graham, and Graham gave McQueen his Bible.
Steve went down, had the surgery done. After they wheeled him into recovery, he was waiting in this room alone at a clinic in Juarez, Mexico, and he died. And he went into the presence of God. They came in to find Steve, and they pulled the sheet back, and he was holding on to that Bible. It was indeed Billy Graham's Bible he was holding on to, maybe reading it before the Lord called him home. And one thing Steve said before he died was, my only regret in life is that I was not able to tell people about what Christ did for me. So I wrote a book that's out now, and I'm doing this documentary film because I wanted to right that wrong. I think that is a story worth telling. And to me, the takeaway truth of it for people watching us right now is there's no one who's beyond the reach of God. You might say, well, I know someone, they would never come to Jesus. What about Steve McQueen? Steve McQueen, Mr. Cool, the king of cool, realized he needed Christ. So the king of cool met the king of kings.
And you can snag a copy of Greg Laurie's book, Steve McQueen, The Salvation of an American Icon, in bookstores and online. And a special documentary based on that book will show as a one-night Fathom event in September 28th to be exact. You can find the trailer at cbnnews.com. A mother and son recently reunited after separation that lasted almost 50 years. It began during the Vietnam War when the child was taken away, but his mom never gave up hope of finding him. Charlene Aaron shows us how years of praying finally paid off.
At 2 years old, Kirk Kellerhalls was adopted from an orphanage in Vietnam. After growing up in America raised by Christian parents, the 47-year-old never imagined meeting his biological mother.
I've grown up ever since I was old enough to know that I was adopted with the notion that my parents perished in the Vietnam War.
But that's not what happened.
I know it's been a few long days for me. I can't imagine how long this trip has been for her.
This amazing turnaround began just weeks after Kellerhalls received an email from a woman urging him to give her a call.
Hello?
Yes, hello, who that call?
Yes, I'm returning a call to this number.
I am looking for my son. I've been looking for him for a long time, and I believe you are my son.
Fast forward to June 6, 2017, when CBN News documented the long-awaited moment for Kellerhalls and his birth mother, Twee Nati Niblett. Niblett and her husband drove from San Antonio to Virginia Beach for the emotional reunion.
Thank you so much, God. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you so much. Thank you for bringing my son to me. Thank you so much. Oh, God, I love you so much. Thank you so much, God. Thank you, Jesus. I know you know where my son is.
Niblett became pregnant at just 17 during the Vietnam War. She says when her father learned of the pregnancy, he became angry because she wasn't married. Plus, the father was an American soldier. She told us what her father did the day her son was born.
Took the baby right after I happened. I knew it was a boy. I know it was a boy.
Niblett also suffered physical abuse for refusing to go along with a hastily arranged marriage. Kellerhalls' biological father transferred to another military base and never knew about the pregnancy. The two eventually lost contact. Niblett came to the U.S. in 1971 and never stopped praying that she would one day find her son. After many disappointments, she turned to the internet and family tree DNA just 2 years ago. Meanwhile, Kellerhalls had hesitated to look, although he had always wanted to know more about his birth family. Finally, he decided to take a chance, and just days after going to the same website, was notified about a possible match.
It said parent-child match. I just kind of shook my head and thought, no, there's a mistake. That's impossible.
That unlikelihood turned out to be the answer to his mother's unwavering prayers.
I just knew that it was my son because I've been praying.
Days after connecting with his mom, Kellerhalls also met a brother and sister he never knew existed. Family members are thankful for this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
God has always been faithful, and this has all happened in His timing, and we're grateful for that.
I feel blessed.
What are you going to call Grandma?
Grandma.
Kellerhalls and Niblett hope their story inspires others.
Continue believing. Sooner or later, God going to open that door.
We have to be patient. We have to be faithful, as Mom put it, and trust in His perfect timing.
Charlene Aaron, CBN News.
And there's even more good news. A reunion is now being planned for Kirk and his father. It is time now for your Monday Motivation, and today I encourage you to think on this as you begin this week. God is the Lord of all, and the pressures of life can cause you to bow in recognition of God's position. But it's better that an inward pull of love prompts you to bow to the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. Putting Him first in all things will make for a better day, a better week, and a better life. That is going to do it for this edition of CBN NewsWatch. You can find more of our exclusive coverage of the issues you care most about always at cbnnews.com. And we'd love to hear what you think about the stories you've seen here today. You can do that by emailing newswatch@cbn.com. You can also talk to us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Hope you'll join us again right here next time. Have a marvelous Monday, everybody. We'll see you back here tomorrow.